The YouTube algorithm is not as confusing as people make it out to be. Here is the not so secret truth. Just get people to keep watching. Increasing video retention rate is about the best thing you can do to get on the YouTube algorithm's good side. YouTube constantly is putting these stats in your face on the analytics page, highlighting its importance, and this is corroborated by popular creators like MrBeast, who frequently talk about retention rate being the single most important thing when it comes to making videos go viral. And why is watch time the most important stat on YouTube? Well, YouTube wants to make money, and they want to keep people on the platform longer so they can put more ads into the videos that people watch. So if you are consistently having audiences that watch your videos for a long amount of time, then YouTube is going to want to push those videos so they can push more ads so they can make more money. So they take the videos with the highest viewer retention rate or watch time and recommend them to you on the sidebars, on the homepage. They put them higher up in the YouTube search results page. Watch time is everything for the algorithm. But how do you actually elongate your watch time? Well, today we have tangible tips that you can start doing right now that make use of the power of psychology and marketing knowledge to increase your retention rate and give your videos the best chance of being pushed by the algorithm. Number 1 is the hook. The first 5 seconds are the most important part of your video. That is when your audience is determining whether the expectations they have for your video set by the thumbnail and the title are actually met. Nobody likes clickbait, and every video is clickbait until proven innocent. Videos with clickbait titles and thumbnails that are not true are now punished by YouTube because viewers click off the video if their expectations are not being met, reducing your average watch time and reducing a video's chance to be pushed by the algorithm. So how do you actually meet audience expectations for that? Well, first of all, make sure that your title and your thumbnail, that they're true. And then follow that up with evidence in the first 5 seconds in that hook. That is when you're gonna prove to your audience that what you promised is actually coming later in the video. For example, in our video where we tested to see if a voice clone could fool our friends and family into thinking they were really talking to us, we showed footage of the conversation right at the top of the video, even though the main portion of that footage came more towards the middle. This promises the viewer that what they are here for is legitimate and is coming soon. Number 2, the first 30 seconds. After your hook has successfully proven to your audience that what they're here for is true and real, it's time to move on to the next stage. Studies have shown that humans currently have a median attention span of 47 seconds. So while you have them, now is the time to give them the context they need to understand the video. There's a common misconception that humans have this tiny attention span, this 8-second attention span, smaller than a goldfish, but the truth is that humans do watch videos and you can retain their attention. You just need to make sure that you have stakes, you have a story, and that you keep re-inviting them back in and make them have an emotional investment in what you're talking about. MrBeast has also come out recently saying that he's embracing a slower side of video editing and that his older style, fast, hyperactive cuts, may stop working soon, or already isn't working. Implied here is that he understands that people do have attention spans, and people will watch longer content. You just have to focus on the storytelling, creating content that evokes an emotional response from viewers, and gets them invested. So here's a way to do that. In the first 30 seconds, give them some context for the video. What is going to happen in this video? This is a great time for lists, right? Say, in this video, we'll talk about A, and then B, and then C, right? The audience can then know where they're at in the video. They can be excited for things to come, and they can put away things we've already talked about, saying, okay, great, we've covered that, on to the next. The problem being is that you don't want to spend too much time here. You don't want it to be boring or drawn out. You do want to get into the meat of the video right away. So make sure that is quick, efficient, and laid out in a really succinct manner. Number 3, set the stakes. This is where you answer the question, why should somebody watch this video? Are they going to be helped by this video? Are they going to be hurt if they don't have the information that's in this video? Are the participants, the creators of the video in the video, do they have some stakes in it? Are they going to win or lose something throughout the video? If you fail to set up those stakes right out the gate, you're going to lose your audience. They're going to go to a video with some stakes. Number 4, visual stimulation. You got to keep the eye moving in order to ensure that the brain's attention is held. And there's many ways to do this, introduce visual stimuli, and here's a couple of them. Number one is camera angles. One of the best ways to introduce different visual stimulation is to have a video with different camera angles. Whether this be actually using multiple cameras at the same shoot, or just using one camera and moving it around for different shots, or even walking with a camera in hand so there's movement. This is one of the reasons why vlogs are so often successful. The settings are frequently changing. This allows you to see a slice of someone's life beyond one seated setting. Though this isn't as necessary if the video is showing B-roll footage, screen recordings, adding image overlays, etc. in the editing process, which leads us to the second, which is editing. If what you're talking about is more informational, if it's graphs, if it's tables, if it's pictures, or if you just don't have a bunch of different cameras, you're not able to do different camera angles to introduce movement, editing can be a great way to introduce visual movement. You could add zoom jump cuts, zooming in and out of footage, which can add movement and emphasis to a video. Moving zooms or Ken Burns can add slow or steady movements to a clip. Overlays are a great way to change up what the viewer's looking at. You can use text overlays to emphasize an important statement, or to be used as chapters in videos that help your viewer keep track of their progress in the video, like this one. Image and video overlays can provide evidence and context to videos when speaking about a topic. Like earlier when I showed you the AI voice cloning experiment, I'm giving you some context for what I'm talking about, but I'm also introducing some really interesting visual stimuli that isn't just you looking at my face the entire time. And number 5 is auditory stimulation. This is the forgotten skill. It's probably one of the most underrated skills in video editing, and it is so important. If there is a mood shift in your video, make sure there's an audio shift. Sound gives you the power to influence people's attitudes towards the video on screen. Sound design is one of the most important aspects of creating films, but is brushed aside as an afterthought for social media creation. Your background music should sound different if there's intrigue. What's going on? What's gonna happen? There's climax or action, finally revealing the thing that you were talking about, the promise at the beginning of the video. Or if there's drama or conflict. You can download swaths of royalty-free music at once using platforms like Streambeats, who make music for free use in videos in a variety of different moods and genres. Downloading whole collections of music rather than individual songs can give you access to a music library quickly, rather than having to seek out tracks for each video. Downloading a library of music by the same producer can also help the video seem cohesive. You can use multiple tracks from the same album if the mood does not significantly shift, rather than repeating the same song. And if you do your video editing on an online editor like Kapwing, you also have access to royalty-free music options without even having to download any files to your computer. Just click to add them to your video project. Also, knowing when not to have any background music is important as well. It dramatically affects the mood. And finally, sound effects. Sound effects can provide some auditory stimulation as well, and throughout the years there have been many trends that come and go in terms of sound effects. There has been the golf swing, the swoosh transition, and these are all things that make it seem more cinematic. They make your editing feel more intentional. And so here are some tips for some sound effects that we think could level up your content in 2024. Thanks for watching. Apply these tips and we guarantee you are going to boost your audience retention. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you are subscribed for more tips on how to level up your content, and happy editing.